So here in front of me, I have another Arthur Wright and Son knife. This is the large Lambsfoot knife. I already had the smaller version. Um, I think it's an older, smaller version too, just based off of a couple of things. And this is the large Lambsfoot, which is more my like size of knife that I like. So I'll probably end up carrying this one more. I carried the other one for a few days, but I've been carrying this one for like 3 or 4 days now, which seems appropriate because right now, Pennsylvania, it's raining like every day, which is very English. So we're having a bit of I believe they call it like an English summer, where it's just raining every day. So it seems appropriate to carry an English pocket knife. And this one's much more my speed than the smaller Lambsfoot knife. Um, Once again, I ordered this from James Company off of All About Pocket Knives over there. His shipping is really fast. He didn't even send me a shipping notification this time, and it just showed up at my door. And I was like, okay, cool. But this is a $30 pocket knife. With shipping, it was like $36 or $37, which is an incredible price for what you're getting, really. And this is just, the basic large lamb's foot knife here with the rosewood handles. You can see right there. A. Wright and Son Limited, Sheffield, England, and your lamb's foot blade there. Haven't put any patina on this yet because I've been waiting to do a video on it. I just got fingerprints all over it. Before I start cutting like food and stuff with it, pretty much. Surprised there's no spotting on it with all the rain and the fact that I've been sweating and everything the past few days, and that hasn't spotted the blade at all is, kind of interesting. But this is, just your typical like Arthur Wright and Son knife, brass liners. Like I said, the rosewood handles, the basic ones. That he does also have the stag handled version of this, I believe. Nickel silver bolsters, brass liners, brass pins. The blade is C70 or C75 carbon steel. I think it's C70, but I'm not 100% sure on that. It's fine for $30. It'll cut stuff for all day. It'll cut stuff for as long as you need it to cut stuff, I'm sure, and it'll sharpen up really easily, which is nice. But yeah, I've been carrying this for a couple of days, which kind of breaks my like habit. Usually I like to do these videos before I start carrying the knife because you'll see here it's got some scratches on the blade and stuff, and I don't even know if that's from me or if that's how it was. Um, the tip on this knife could have been a little bit pointier, but I'm not going to complain about it. Camera's not going to focus anyway. Okay. There we go. It's a little rounded off. Not the end of the world or anything. I just wish it were slightly pointier. Um, but comparing it to my other Lambsfoot knife, which is the smaller version, you can see it's maybe about half an inch longer blade, and the handle is about half-inch longer. So this is more my like size knife here. The blade on the small one's like just under 3 inches long. The blade on the larger one is about 3 3/8, maybe 3 3/8, something like that. And the size closed here is about slightly over 4 inches. It's like 4 1/8 or something inches long closed. It's a knife that looks pretty good. This is my eBay pickup. I did a video on this knife. And I think it's an earlier one because of this like high polish. Although I think they do certain knives with a higher polish and everything. But this one I have right now is more of like a satin finish type of blade, which I actually like more. The pull on this one is insane. It's really heavy. So if you're looking for a knife that's super hard to open, this is a good knife for that. The action's pretty good. It doesn't snap closed like the small one does, but on open, it's really good, and it's certainly not gonna close on you. I've got no worries about this ever going closed on you. You could do some stupid stuff with this knife, and it's not gonna close on your hand. So people that are worried about that, this knife has a really strong back spring, so I'm not worried about it. Certainly, the rosewood. Let me close the blade here. The rosewood looks pretty good. It's got these lines and stuff in it here. There is a slight like deviation in color right there, which is kind of cool. Maybe some slight like cracking or something going on there. Maybe just grain, just like a rougher grain. And right here, it looks like there might be a small wormhole, but I'm not ever concerned about stuff like that, really. Um, as far as fit and finish of the rest of the knife, the blade doesn't have any play. It does bend a little bit, but it's because it's a longer blade, but it doesn't move side to side at all. The back spring doesn't, it has some slight gaps, pretty much to be expected. It's a $30 knife, so not the end of the world. There are some slight gaps between the liner and the cover material or handle material um, in a couple of spots. Once again, $30 knife. These knives are more like working man's knives. So I don't really think they're supposed to be perfect. You're just supposed to buy this and use it as a tool, like your grandfather did, or your father. Depending on your age. Great grandfather, maybe even if you're a part of Generation Z, which there may be a few of you. Who knows? Um, but anyway, cool knife. Really like it. Um, I'm all about these Arthur Wright knives because they're so affordable, and they very much remind me of the old knives that I pick up at flea markets. Like 90% of the old knives that I pick up at flea markets are really nothing special. They're not high end knives. They're just knives with wooden handles, simple blades that are put together decently well, that some man bought 50, 60, 70 years ago and just carried it every day. And these knives kind of remind me of that, which I think is cool. But this is the large Lambsfoot knife by A. Wright and Son Cutlery out of Sheffield, England. And I quite enjoy it, as I do the rest of my A. Wright and Son knives, just for their, working man feel, I'll say. Their simplicity, their low cost, all that kind of stuff. And plus, you're getting a piece, as far as I'm concerned, you're getting a piece of cutlery history, since it is from Sheffield, England. Now, A. Wright and Sons hasn't been around as long as some companies over there. I think Taylor's Eye Witness or whatever it's called has been around for longer, but I'm not sure it's still the same factory making those, so it's not really that big of a deal. But A. Wright and Sons has been around since like post World War II, I think. So they've been around for a good while now, and they're affordable knives, affordable working man's knives. You're not going to get Great Eastern Cutlery type fit and finish. You shouldn't expect that from a 30, 40, 50, maybe $60 knife, depending on where you get it. I don't think you should expect that, but some people are really picky about their pocket knives. Uh, I am not, especially for $30. I pretty much know what to expect at this point. But really like it. Like I said, this one's more my size than the small one. And I do like the small one. It's just a little small for me. Um, but yeah, this one has a little more blade, a little more handle, so it'll probably get carried more than this one. But this one will remain in the collection of European pocket knives, is what I'm calling it. You can see that I have carried this one a fair bit. It's got some spotting and stuff. Actually, I think that's actual rust. No, it's just colored weird. It's just like an orange color. It's not actual rust, it's just staining. There was rust there, I think, but I don't think it's rust any longer. I think it's just some sort of spotting, pretty much. Um, but yeah, this knife is nice, but this one is more my style, really. It's larger lamb's foot knife. Um, but yeah, like I said, you can still get these over from James Company over on allaboutpocketknives.com. He's selling them for $30, and I think he has a stag version of it for $60. If you're all about stag, I know I like my stag Barlow I got from him. I could see getting a stag one of these, but honestly, I think the rosewood one is probably what I will stick with. But anyway, I've been talking for long enough about this knife and about other things. So that's going to be it for this video on this Arthur Wright & Son large Lambsfoot knife. Hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one.